Welcome to Belgium, a country often overlooked in favour of its bigger neighbours like France, Germany and the Netherlands. But those who take the time to explore this small but mighty nation are rewarded with cobblestone fairy tales, luscious landscapes and quirky surprises around every turn. Belgium is split into 3 regions: Flanders, Wallonia and the Brussels capital region, each with its own charm, language and identity. It's a place where medieval towns meet modern art, where chocolate isn't just a treat but a craft, and where beer is so good it's protected by UNESCO. Before we start our grand tour, here's a fun fact. Belgium holds the world record for the longest period without an official government, 652 days. And yet, somehow, it remained one of the best places to live in Europe. That's Belgium for you. Quietly brilliant, beautifully balanced. Now, let's explore some incredible places that make Belgium truly unforgettable. Cradled between dramatic cliffs and the Meuse River, Dinant looks like a fantasy novel come to life. The town's most iconic landmark is the Collegiate Church of Notre Dame, crowned with an onion-shaped dome. Just above it, perched on the rocks, is La Citadelle, a mighty fortress offering panoramic views of the valley. Adventure seekers will love the caves of Hahn and the Grotto of Dinant, both featuring underground wonders sculpted by time. These natural caves are a geological marvel, where visitors descend into the earth to witness subterranean rivers and cathedral-sized caverns.
Baby, I'm just a thorn in your crown, thorn in your crown.
Stroll across the Charles de Gaulle Bridge, where colourful saxophones honour Adolphe Sax, the Dinant-born inventor of the saxophone. His statue sits nearby, bringing music lovers from around the globe. Nature lovers shouldn't miss the Parc des Feux, filled with Roman ruins, caves, wildlife and peaceful forest trails. It's a magical place where nature and history intertwine. If you had to imagine a medieval town untouched by time, it would be Bruges. Its entire historic centre is a UNESCO site, with charming canals, red brick buildings, and market squares bustling with life. Start at the Markt and climb the 366 steps of the Belfort for sweeping views over the red rooftops and winding streets. Next, stroll to the Basilica of the Holy Blood, said to house a relic of Christ's blood, brought to Bruges during the Crusades. Minnewater Lake, also known as the Lake of Love, is perfect for romantic walks. It's said that couples who cross the bridge together will stay in love forever. Art lovers should explore the Greenwich Museum for Flemish masterpieces, the surreal Groothuis Mansion, and the intimate Luc van Laer Harp Museum, where live performances enchant visitors. For something quirky, the Lucifernum offers a Gothic art gallery meets haunted mansion experience, definitely one of Bruges' most bizarre attractions. And of course, indulge in local beer at De Halfmaan Brewery and learn about the country's sweet tooth at the Choco Story Chocolate Museum. Brussels, the capital of Belgium and of Europe, is a city of grandeur, quirks and contrasts. Start your exploration at the Grand Place, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that stuns with its ornate guild halls and the opulent town hall. It's especially magical when lit up at night or during the flower carpet event. A short walk leads to Les Galeries Royales Saint-Coubert, one of the oldest covered shopping arcades in Europe, filled with chocolate boutiques, cafes and elegant storefronts. Nearby, you'll find the cheeky mannequin piece, the tiny bronze boy who has become one of the city's most beloved mascots. Next, visit the Atomium, a futuristic structure originally built for the 1958 World's Fair. You can ride an escalator through its steel spheres and enjoy panoramic views of the city. Here's another weird and unique fun fact about Brussels. The city has a secret underground river. Beneath the city's bustling streets flows the River Seine. But you won't see it. That's because in the 19th century, the city decided the river was just too smelly and dirty, so they literally buried it. The entire river was vaulted over and now runs beneath boulevards and buildings. Most locals walk above it every day without realizing there's a whole river system hidden below their feet. Even weirder, parts of it are still accessible through hidden tunnels and old maintenance corridors. Urban explorers call it Brussels' buried vein. A visit to Brussels wouldn't be complete without exploring the European Quarter, home to the European Parliament, Commission and other key institutions that shape EU policy. But here's a quirky twist. The EU buildings themselves are an architectural curiosity. The European Parliament building, known as the Espace Leopold, was inspired by the idea of transparency, but many visitors joke that it looks more like a futuristic spaceship or a sprawling glass maze. There's even a massive structure resembling an unfinished circle, often called the Donut. Stop by the Parliamentarium, a free and interactive museum that breaks down how the EU works in a surprisingly engaging way. Nearby, Cinquantenaire Park adds a breath of fresh air to the political atmosphere, with its towering arches and relaxed green spaces. Welcome to Ghent, Belgium's best kept secret. A city where medieval charm meets vibrant street life, where canals reflect Gothic spires, and where history isn't just preserved, it's still alive. Start your journey at St. Bavo's Cathedral, a Gothic masterpiece towering over the city. Inside, it guards one of the greatest treasures in all of art history, the Ghent altarpiece, also known as the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb. Painted by the Van Eyck brothers in the 15th century, this polyptych is so famous, it has survived theft by Napoleon, looting by the Nazis, and at one point, yes, being hidden in a salt mine. It's basically the Mona Lisa of Belgium. Next, enter the Castle of the Counts, or as locals call it, Gravenstein. Built in the 12th century, it comes complete with battlements, a moat and, brace yourself, a torture museum. Because nothing says romantic getaway like iron collars and thumbscrews. Fun fact, at one point, the castle was used as a textile factory and even housed apartments. Imagine living next to an actual dungeon. Keep your eyes on the skyline and you'll spot the Ghent Belfry. Standing at 91 meters, it's guarded by a golden dragon perched on top because why not? Installed in 1377, this fire-breathing mascot once served as a medieval alarm system, weather vane, and occasional pigeon perch. Climb the tower and you'll be rewarded with panoramic views over the city's spires and streets. If you want the most iconic shot of Ghent, make your way to St. Michael's Bridge. It's the only place where you can see all three of the city's towering treasures: St. Nicholas Church, the Belfry, and St. Bavo's Cathedral in one breathtaking view. At golden hour, it's pure magic. Bring a camera or three. Now, stroll along the Graaslane Korenlei, twin quays lining the River Lys. In the Middle Ages, this was the heart of Ghent's grain trade and also the scene of countless medieval power plays. The Grasbrug Bridge, right here, was the city's economic artery, and controlling it meant controlling commerce. Today, it's more about cocktails than cargo, but the sense of history remains. Now, let's talk beer, because in Belgium, it's practically a national treasure. But Ghent has a little drinking drama of its own. Ever heard of a beer called Quack? It's not just the name that's funny, it's the glass it's served in. This iconic beer comes in a round-bottomed glass that looks like it was designed by a mad scientist. It can't stand on its own, so it comes with a wooden holder. And because the glass is so tempting to steal, some bars came up with a genius solution. Want a quack? Leave a shoe. Yes, really. They take your shoe as collateral and hang it in a basket above the bar while you sip away. It's all in good fun, and it makes walking out without paying for your glass a very lopsided experience. So come for the beer, stay for the shoe tax. Only in Ghent. Finally, end your day at St. Nicholas's Church, one of the oldest landmarks in the city. Built in the 13th century in blue-grey stone, it was once the go-to church for Ghent's wealthy merchants. It's still a place of awe and reverence, with soaring vaults and a calm that feels a world away from the buzzing streets outside. Ghent isn't just a city, it's a time capsule with a beating heart. Whether you're here for the art, the architecture, or just to be completely charmed, this Belgian gem will surprise you at every turn. Just outside the town of Dinant, perched high above the River Lys, stands one of Belgium's most dramatic and romantic castles, Walsing Castle. This fortress has guarded this valley since the Middle Ages. The first known castle here dates back to the 11th century, although the site likely had fortifications even earlier. Built on a limestone cliff, the location was strategic, watching over a key river crossing, with natural defenses on three sides. The castle's history, like much of Belgium's, is turbulent. It was destroyed multiple times, most notably in 1554, when French troops laid waste to much of the region. What you see today is a neo-Gothic revival, carefully restored in the 19th century and finalized in 1932 under the guidance of Belgian architect Octave Flaneau. While it looks straight out of a fairy tale, Walsing is very real and remains privately owned. The interiors aren't open to the public, but its exterior is more than enough to inspire awe. Visitors can explore the nearby trails, kayak beneath the cliff, or view the castle from scenic lookouts along the River Less. Whether shrouded in mist or glowing in the summer sun, Wallsend Castle has an atmosphere that never fails to capture the imagination. Sometimes, the most magical places are the ones you can only admire from afar. Welcome to Derby, a fairytale town nestled in the Belgian Ardennes. With just a few hundred residents, it proudly claims the title of the smallest city in the world. Whether that's technically true or not, well, the charm speaks for itself. Overlooking it all is Chateau de Derby, a private castle rebuilt in the 18th century on medieval foundations. Though you can't go inside, its dramatic hilltop presence makes it the perfect aerial centerpiece. Derby's city status dates back to 1331, thanks to John, the First of Bohemia, a king who clearly loved small cities with big personality. In the Middle Ages, Derby was a bustling trade centre along the Irthe River. Today, it's more about slow strolls, scenic hikes, and a topiary park filled with giant plant sculptures, yes really. And of course, no Belgian village is complete without local beer and riverside cafes. So if you're after storybook streets, hidden history, and a touch of whimsy, Derby delivers, small but mighty. Ypres, a quiet Flemish town today, was once at the very heart of the Western Front during World War I. It stands as a place of deep remembrance, but also quiet resilience, where history is woven into every stone and square. Every evening at 8 p.m, the haunting sound of the last post echoes through the Menin Gate. It's a daily tribute to over 54,000 fallen soldiers whose names are etched into stone, a tradition carried on since 1928, rain or shine. Just outside the city lies Tynecott Cemetery, the largest Commonwealth War cemetery in the world. Rows upon rows of white gravestones stretch toward the horizon, a powerful symbol of sacrifice and international solidarity. An interesting fact, during the infamous Christmas truce of 1914, just outside Ypres, German and Allied soldiers emerged from their trenches to exchange gifts and even play a game of football, one of the most extraordinary moments of humanity in wartime. Ypres is more than a town, it's a living tribute to peace, memory, and the enduring spirit of the people who rebuilt from the ashes with dignity and hope. Few cities blend medieval charm and modern energy quite like Antwerp, Belgium's vibrant port city where Gothic towers, diamond dealers, and folklore giants share the same skyline. From above, it's hard to miss the Cathedral of Our Lady, a towering masterpiece of Gothic architecture and the tallest church in the Low Countries. Inside, priceless works by the Baroque legend Peter Paul Rubens, who lived just around the corner. His old home is now a museum, complete with a garden that looks like he never left. Glide over the city skyline and you'll spot the Porthouse, a futuristic glass structure designed by Zaha Hadid, shaped like a ship's bow or, depending on who you ask, a diamond spaceship. Hovering above a century-old fire station, it's the crown jewel of Antwerp's architectural evolution, bold, bizarre and brilliant. Just beyond the city centre sprawls the port of Antwerp itself, Europe's second largest seaport. It's not just huge, it's a city within a city. With over 1,400 companies, its docks stretch for more than 60 kilometres, handling everything from bananas and cars to chemicals and coffee. Weird fact, it's so vast that parts of it have their own street names, traffic lights, and even wildlife. Deer have been spotted near the container yards. Of course, Antwerp wouldn't be Antwerp without diamonds. This city moves 80% of the world's rough diamonds, making it sparkle a little more than most. But it's not all glitz. In 2003, it was also the site of one of the world's greatest diamond heists. Thieves bypassed high-tech security, made off with over $100 million in gems, and vanished. To this day, the mystery remains. Antwerp Central Station is a destination in itself. Often called one of the world's most beautiful train stations, its soaring glass dome and grand marble halls look more like a royal palace than a railway hub. It's also been the stage for one of the most iconic flash mobs ever, where unsuspecting commuters were treated to a surprise performance of Do Re Mi. Don't miss Mayas, the Museum Anderstroom. This red sandstone giant stands proudly at the edge of the docks, stacked like a modernist puzzle. Inside, it tells the story of Antwerp's global trade history. Outside, the rooftop offers panoramic views of the harbour, city, and the Scheldt River flowing out to sea. Just across the water from Mayes, you'll find the Ludswiesen, the stately old pilot's building. Once the headquarters for the river pilots who guided ships safely up the Scheldt, it's a testament to Antwerp's maritime roots. With its ornate neo-Gothic design and a turret worthy of a fairy tale, it's often mistaken for a palace. It's not open to the public, but from the outside, it's one of the city's best kept architectural gems. Antwerp is confident, creative, and unapologetically itself, a port city that wears its history and ambition on its sleeve. It's not just a place you visit, it's one that leaves a mark. Tucked away just 25 kilometers east of Brussels, Leuven is a vibrant university town where ancient Gothic spires stand proudly above buzzing student cafes and bicycle-lined streets. It's home to one of Europe's oldest and most prestigious universities, which lends the city a youthful, dynamic spirit year-round. Dominating the city centre is the jaw-dropping Leuven Town Hall, an ornate Gothic masterpiece with 236 statues covering its facade. It took architects nearly 30 years to complete in the 15th century, and it shows. Locals joke that it's so detailed, you could spend a full day just trying to count the windows and still miss a few. Right next door stands St. Peter's Church, where you'll find the Last Supper, not Da Vinci's, but the Eric Bout's version, painted right here in Leuven in the 15th century. Bout was one of the first painters to use linear perspective, giving his work an eerie realism for the time. But the real heartbeat of Leuven is KU Leuven, one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in Europe, founded in 1425. It's older than the printing press, and believe it or not, it still holds lectures in buildings from the 16th century. For something a little different, check out the University Library, a striking symbol of resilience. The original was tragically destroyed during World War I when German troops set it ablaze, taking over 300,000 books with it. The current building was rebuilt in the 1920s, funded by donations from around the world, particularly the United States. Towering above it is the library's bell tower, home to one of the largest carry-ons in Europe, with 63 bells. On special occasions, it rings out not just traditional tunes, but sometimes modern hits, everything from Beethoven to the Beatles. You never know what soundtrack might echo through Leuven's skyline. And just beyond the city centre, nestled in the green suburb of Heberlee, sits Arenberg Castle, a fairy tale blend of Gothic and Renaissance architecture. Once the seat of noble families, it now serves a more academic purpose as part of KU Leuven's engineering faculty. Yes, students here attend lectures in an actual castle. With its red brick towers, scenic moat, and leafy surroundings, it's one of Leuven's most enchanting and under-the-radar landmarks. Finally, no trip to Leuven is complete without a stop at the Oude Markt, nicknamed the longest bar in the world. It's a square lined with over 30 cafes and bars where locals and students mingle from day to night. If you want to experience the soul of Leuven, this is where it pours, often in the form of a local Stella Artois, which has been brewed here since 1926. Leuven may not always top the tourist lists, but that's exactly why it charms so deeply. It's Belgium, distilled and waiting to be discovered. Tucked away in southern Belgium lies the Ardennes, a region of rolling forests, medieval castles, and winding rivers. It's where legends feel alive and time slows to the rhythm of nature. Start in Dinant, where cliffs tower above the river Meuse and a citadel guards the town like a stone sentinel. This is the birthplace of Adolphe Sax, the inventor of the saxophone. Yes, that sax. His legacy echoes through the town, where music and history share the same breath. Just upriver stands Walsing Castle, perched dramatically on a cliff, like something out of a fairy tale. It's privately owned, so you can't go inside, but honestly, the best views are from above. This limestone fortress has watched over the Lesse Valley since the Middle Ages. Nearby, Chateau de Buhl brings a different kind of legacy, wine. Yes, wine in Belgium. The estate has been producing award-winning vintages in one of Europe's northernmost vineyards. It's proof that the Ardennes isn't just about forests, it's also full of surprises. Then there's Chateau de Vèves, straight out of a storybook, complete with turrets and timbered galleries. This one's often called the Sleeping Beauty Castle, and one look explains why. In Derby, you'll find what claims to be the smallest city in the world. Cobblestone lanes and medieval rooftops sit cradled in a lush valley, tiny in size, massive in charm. Further south, the castle of Bouillon looms over the Semoise River. Once home to Godfrey of Bouillon, leader of the First Crusade, it's one of Belgium's oldest and most strategic fortresses, complete with hidden tunnels and falconry shows. For something quieter, visit the Abbey of Maresus, where monks still follow the Benedictine rhythm of prayer, work, and cheesemaking. Their rich, creamy cheese and beer are heavenly and officially blessed by centuries of tradition. La Roche en Ardennes is watched over by its citadel ruins, a favourite haunt for ghost hunters. Legend has it that the ghost of Countess Bertha still wanders the ramparts at night. And finally, swap medieval for modern at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, home of the Belgian Grand Prix. Carved into the forest, it's one of the most iconic racetracks in the world, and probably the only one with cows grazing nearby. The Ardennes isn't just a place. It's a patchwork of mystery, history, and natural beauty, stitched together with winding rivers and stone spires. If Belgium had a beating heart, it would echo from these hills. Namur, the capital of Wallonia, rises gracefully at the confluence of the Meuse and Sambre rivers, a city where history and scenery go hand in hand. Towering above it all is the citadel of Narma, once one of Europe's most formidable fortresses. Napoleon himself called it one of the strongest places in the world. From the air, its vast star-shaped walls and underground tunnels tell centuries of military history. Just below, the old town is a maze of cobbled lanes, historic churches, and elegant rooftops. The twin towers of St. Aubin's Cathedral, unique in Belgium for its Baroque style, mark the city's spiritual heart. And then there's a surprise waiting near the citadel, the giant golden turtle. Officially titled Searching for Utopia, it's a striking sculpture by Jan Fabra. A man in armor rides the turtle, symbolizing reflection, slowness, and the journey toward peace. It's become one of Namur's most beloved and unusual landmarks. Namur may be small, but it plays a big role. It's home to the Parliament of Wallonia and has long stood as a bridge between cultures, languages, and empires. Today, Namur is a peaceful place with riverfront cafes, quiet charm, and layers of story etched into every stone. Les gens nous regardent en train de crier. On est heureux. Les cheveux dans le vent, les bras déployés. On veut voler. On est bien, bien, bien. Belgium may be small, but its culinary legacy is world-class, a delicious blend of French finesse, German heartiness, and a flavor all its own. Let's start with the crown jewel, Belgian chocolate. This isn't just candy, it's craftsmanship. With over 2,000 chocolatiers nationwide, Belgium invented the praline in 1912 thanks to Jean Neuhaus. Some of the finest chocolate in the world is made right here, often by hand, using techniques passed down for generations. Then there are the fries, and let's get one thing straight, they're not French. Belgian frites are double fried in beef fat for that perfect crunch. And Belgians don't drown them in ketchup. They serve them with a dozen types of sauces, from classic mayonnaise to spicy andalus. You'll find them at friteries across the country, often served in a paper cone. Now onto the waffles. There are two main types, the Brussels waffle, light and crispy with defined edges, and the Liège waffle, which is denser, sweeter, and studded with caramelized sugar chunks. Fun fact, in Belgium, waffles are typically eaten without syrup and often as a snack, not breakfast. And of course, there's beer. Not just a drink here, but a way of life. With over 1,500 distinct beers brewed in Belgium, many have their own uniquely shaped glasses to highlight aroma and foam. Some Trappist beers are still brewed by monks in silent abbeys, like West-Fletcheron, often called the rarest beer in the world. It's not sold in shops, you have to reserve it by phone, drive to the abbey, and pick it up in person. No website, no delivery, just centuries-old tradition in a bottle. Don't miss stoofvlees, a hearty Flemish beef stew made with beer, or moels frites, mussels cooked in white wine, garlic and herbs, paired with fries of course. Oh, and the world's smallest town, Derby, might just surprise you with some of the country's finest charcuterie and local liquors, proving that in Belgium, good taste knows no size. From sweet to savory, slow cooked to deep fried, Belgium is a place where food tells the story of culture, history, and irresistible flavor. From medieval towns and fairy tale castles to legendary beers and world-class chocolates, Belgium is full of surprises. A small country with a big heart where history, culture, and charm go hand in hand. If you love discovering the world's most fascinating places and untold stories, hit the subscribe button and join us for more cinematic travel adventures.